All working. Right, let's pause that. Cool, got it all working. Edit. Oh. Right, let's pause that. Edit. Oh. Boop. There we go. Okay, hello everyone. Oh, just gotta get this out on my Twitter, on my Discord, and Jer. Just back of my head. Hope people turn up. Cool, that's all done. Probably should do that before I start. But let's go load. Don't panic. We are now, drumroll, just gonna have a little bit of water before I start this off. I haven't spoken much today, so my voice might be a bit creaky. And today we finish Act 1. Yay! The next day I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's a Sunday and there are no classes. Not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people with a craving for low quality food. That low quality food dough. I throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not worried about them, as I probably should be. With no word— oh, I need my glasses so I don't mess up reading too often. Oh my god, I should really clean these, but I keep forgetting because I don't wear them very often nowadays. Probably should, because I'm spending all my time on the computer anyway. I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routine, I exit into the hallway intending to go out and find something to eat. Passing by his door, I decide to see what Kenji's up to today out of impulse. Hey Pix! How's it going? How's your weekend been? And how was your Pixelmon your Pokemon Red stream? I haven't watched it yet, because I was over at my rents yesterday. How'd that go? Did you beat Misty? I'm curious if he has any plans, since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can't picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room. It's good, got to Vermilion City. That's the third city, isn't it? I've never really gotten too far in Pokemon Red. I always got as far as Mount Moon and gave up, because I got bored of trying to find my way through and very frustrated with all the bats. Possibly something like a fort, complete with a no girls allowed sign. Always a good thing, you don't really want that band in your bedroom. It can get very noisy. And with the girls crossed out and body crudely scrawled underneath it. Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling clicking of at least 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens up a crack. Who is it? You're supposed to ask that before you open the door. Oh, it's you, damn, it's early. It's not really that early. What is it, man? Nothing, was just going to ask you what you're going to do today. Half the school is out there already. Out where? Why? What? What? Is today special? Why are they there? Who are? I can hear them, it's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun? He suddenly looks more alarmed. What day is it, man? Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside and people selling stuff. What the hell are you talking about? I have my curtains closed at all times to thwart the snipers. It's the festival, you know that, right? Oh shit, that's today. Damn it. Can't believe I forgot I don't have my fourth finished yet. This is bad. This is going to be a very bad day. It's good you told me this, man. It's going to be a bad day. Why? Oh man, they're going to be everywhere, the people. Outside my window, socializing. Those terrible people socializing. Everything sounds slightly scandalous when you say it in a Welsh accent sometimes. Oh, those nasty people out there socializing. Well, I can't believe it. We never did that kind of thing in my day, back in the Gawa. Kenji rubs his temples nervously, suddenly looking very ill. It's going to be loud as hell. Damn, when I was going out to go out today, but it's ruined. Everything is ruined. This is awful. This sucks. This sucks. What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run. Kenji seems nervous. You could even say he's majorly freaking out. I can't believe it. So that's what today was. Damn, I couldn't even prepare for it. Couldn't even brace myself. And now it's here. I can't do anything. Should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least I know. I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished. Sorry, I thought you knew. So I guess you're not going to do anything today? The weather is even good. Yesterday was really windy. Yeah, Hisao definitely should have a British accent. He's just talking randomly to the weather, this guy that's having a rant. Today was, so I thought today would be cold. It's not though, so there's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should go check the festival out. Kenji groans and covers his face with his hands. No, I can't do it. They'll eat me alive out there, I know it. Has to be a joke. We said it with such a straight face. Relatively straight. What are you going to do? We should hang out in here. You can have me build my fort. Might still be able to make it if we work together. I wonder. I'm kind of hungry. But I made this deal that I try to take better care of myself. Be healthier, you know? Don't know if I should stay clear of the takoyaki or head straight in. Deal sounds ominous. So what are you getting in return? Nothing, I guess? It's not that kind of a deal. No, Kenji, he sold his soul. Save him, man. Save him. You know, Emmy, from my ear, we kind of agreed to watch each other's backs and... Hey! The shrill scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. As if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the devil and didn't get anything in return? What in the hell is wrong with you, man? Do you know what you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends into the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? She's one of them, a key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete suppression of everything that is manly. Can't believe that's what I'm hearing. I trusted your judgment, man. Thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. This festival, too, is just one of their ploys. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire. Then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finished running its course. I'm going to have to find some place to hide in, a safe haven. Then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I had the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. He's off getting his whiskey. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. Such a pointless conversation. You have to have it every time on every route. Meh. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, and now I start to doubt for myself. Should I bother going? I've got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. I feel like I should get the reference to that. It's short too. I could have finished it in a day. But would that have been a good way to spend my time? Yeah, it definitely would be. But I suppose that's probably a better idea to head outside. No, Hisao, stay inside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. Japanese food. Win! Hi! How was Seattle? Did you have fun? A happy birthday. Oops. Ah, damn. Put my bottle down and I disrupt everything. Also, how was your birthday? Did you have a good time then as well? I'm soon outside, surrounded by the various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often I catch a glimpse of someone who's clearly just came up from town for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. The ones who can't stop staring, and behind their eyes you can tell they're thinking, now, what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them. But at the same time, I can't deny it. Can I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? Punting a naughty person. Oh, it's okay. No naughty people in my stream. Although keep an eye on pixel rips. He can be a bit tricksy sometimes. Oh, you got the Pax Pox. That sucks. A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me, guilt for my own narrow-mindedness. I push the thoughts aside and concentrate on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land where I can get some lunch. Trixie isn't against our rules. That's good then. Pix, you're fine. You can stay. I'm just getting my order when a loud voice interrupts me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having lunch? Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I'm at lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? That's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast! What happened to it being your lunch? That's my whatever it is, it's my food! Amy places her hand on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Hisao. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is, mostly. All I get in response is a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would you? The girl's got a point, of course. But I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. Yeah, sure, and it handled a little running just fine too. Emmy seems unconvinced. She can hear your thoughts, Hisao. Shh. Don't think so loud. Not surprising as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Maybe, but not if you're sleeping the day away all the time. A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you've been following the routine from the beginning, you shouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a pretty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died, and there was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on the roof for a while. Which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Like running in the mornings. She nods as if something important has just been decided. So it's settled then. You've seen the error of your ways and you're willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning? Sneaky girl. We'll be running buddies. You know you'd already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. She's right about eating healthy after all, and here I am ordering something grossly unhealthy. I think you're allowed at least one cheat day, right? And it's a festival. It's like saying you gotta be health conscious at Christmas. I mean, who does that? You call that yummy Christmas cake, the turkey, all that kind of stuff. You can't die at Christmas Day. Same with whatever festival this is. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like staying alive? If Emmy weren't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Hey, wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? Emmy shrugs and grins at me. You're the new guy. I figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, I've caused you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would anyway. Uh-huh. Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy. I suppose there are worse fates. Yeah, like if you blow everybody off, that's the worst fate in the game. Don't do that, Hisao. Okay, that sounds fine. Thanks for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then? I figure that ends the conversation, so I turn to leave. Not so fast. Get back here, you great galah. I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second I've been yanked backwards. She can reach that high up? She's tiny compared to Hisao. Hey, no need to be so rough. What do you want now? Emmy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. I thought you could use the company. Her eyes narrow. Besides, you were just going to try sneaking some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to, but now that she mentions it, it would have been a really good idea. I was not. Another glare. Okay, maybe I was going to get a little. The glare continues. Okay, a lot. Jesus, I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it, you can't be trusted. Now I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what passers-by think of the sight of me being lectured by a tiny girl half my size. Maybe I should just give it up for now. Fine, do what you like. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a minute. Well, I promised Rin I'd stop by a mural. So let's do that. I confess I'm slightly curious as to how her mural turned out myself, so again I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to our destination. So many people everywhere. Oh my god. By the time we reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. Oh yeah, Win, I did mean to ask, this is an okay game to play because I've got the adult stuff all disabled, so hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I wasn't going to try and get that far into the game anyway. It was on the list I could pick from of games I was playing. Probably should have asked you that before I started doing all this. I'm one of the most normal looking people at the school, but I still have to be here. Wait, did I miss something? How do I go back? Okay, by the time I reach the dorms, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm one of the most normal looking people at the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. But instead I don't even look sick. Even now trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Amy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not going to die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be all my fault, and I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after that last time, I really don't think I need to see that again. Especially because the nurse will say it's all my fault. No, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all. And you want to keep eating your greasy whatever it was. See, it's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. But I'm not going to admit that. Maybe. Of course I don't add that I wouldn't be in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Where the conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin. Oh, it's you! Hello, Amy. Hey, Rin, I brought Hisao along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My objection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rin nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing here in front of the mural. Has anyone stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously we're not the first ones to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. Be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Though it would be kind of ironic if Lily was the first person to see it finished. Because, you know, she can't see it. Rin level joke there. Hilarious. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. Looks pretty good? I'm still not happy with how it turned out. But I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. Sorry, I keep fiddling with this. I just bought it earlier. Can you guys see that? Let me just get Discord out of the way. Got that from a shop earlier. Tomorrow is a starter. Figured I should have something for it. We stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. Terrifying, terrifying mural. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. Colours swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. There's a dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me feel almost sleepy. I try hunting out some of the colours Emmy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well. Don't know where he's getting dreamlike from. Nightmarish is certainly closer to the description, I'd say. Would not want to see that in my dreams. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. My feet start to hurt, but Rin doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Rin, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe, but I'm hungry again, so maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good, come get some food with us. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care. Whoever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. We find a nice spot on the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Rin stares at something or other, occasionally taking a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Hisao? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, remember? Actually, they'd slipped my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God there. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. Anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with wild abandon before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I have some homework to do, and if I'm going to run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not going to find... Are you sure you're not just going to sneak off and buy some of that fried stuff over there? Nah, I'm too full to bother now. I pat my stomach for emphasis, and rub my tummy. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Emmy giggles. It's surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I feel kind of like a monster. What's that thing coming over the hill? Is it a monster? Or part of my master plan, Hisao. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food, and for keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favour. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow, because that would be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I felt oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm sure I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stand and buy some cake. At least it's not fried, right? Fried cake would be absolutely disgusting. Like, yeah. Get a nice Victoria sponge, dip it in a deep fat fryer. Ugh. No. This that can't be worse than the pickled wheat that I made in Stardew Valley. That was just mank. That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me and I flop on my bed and read through the fireworks display. Do you at least eat your cake? Eventually all the walking around, or more accurately running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out to the morning run might just be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. Hey! Love these little sequences at the beginning. Love to see a Katawa Shoujo anime as well. That would be really cool. No, Hisao, don't do it! Ah. Even though she looks really young, which is a little bit disturbing. And even after all my years of watching anime, I still can't get used to the sports knickers. Such a weird thing to have. And Milby's right, he does just look like her dad, which is really just bizarre. Act 2, form. Okay, can we get her bulge off the screen, please? Thank you. Bye. And we are now officially on Emi's route. Yay! My alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I used to run with Emi in the mornings. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby, or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emi yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. Ah, the blinding lawn! No! As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emi's playing on me? Would that surprise me, really? And I'd probably do it to the new guy too. Well, like shuffle up to him in a big trench coat and go, "Hey guy, wanna get some exercise? Meet me outside on the training pitch at 6 o'clock in the morning, yeah?" At the very least, I'm sure Emi and Rin made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. You're late. Oh wait, that's the wrong voice. Oh my god, Hisao, you're like so totally late. We're now doing the body swap episode. Hi, it's me showing Emi's body. You're late. It would seem like Emi's already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch. We are both early, in fact. Damn, you got me there. Emi's sitting on the bleachers decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're actually here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. Now, I'd never make someone get up that early for nothing. Plus, Rin owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think he'd actually show up. I knew it. Nice to know Emi was on my side at least. Emi hops off the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, then realised I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my one stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The spectre of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say that it was all that active before the hospital stay, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emi giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Hisao, you gotta hold it for longer than that. I'm trying, it kind of hurts a little. That's because you're out of shape, you gotta get some flexibility in you, like this. To demonstrate, Emi reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emi. I see. Is that the sort of thing I should strive for? I can't even get my body down that way. More or less do it through my legs. Oh, that'd be scary to see. Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. That makes no sense to me, but Emi seems to believe it's true. So does that mean that Reed Richards would be the best runner in the world then? And Mr. Fantastic with the fact that he can stretch himself out like miles in either direction? I know nothing about the Fantastic Four, all I know is their powers. With Emi's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? That's 4 laps around the track, got it? That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class surfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't all that bad. Emi sets a pretty good pace and I fall behind her. Try to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. We ran the first curve without incident, although I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve I've started to breathe through my mouth. Emi doesn't seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never better. Maybe I should speed up then, Oh no, wouldn't want you to over-exert yourself. My heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emi simply smiles and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao will stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in such terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We round the curve to start our 4th lap, and Emi looks back at me with a grin. Here we go. She takes off at blinding speed while I stubbornly stick to my slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the backstretch, Emi continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it. I dance at her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emi keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she wears a black sports bra. I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, Hisao. Kind of you to say, so. Emi seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. It must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I've got get a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll all be done, okay? Sounds great. My legs are on fire and my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. Science! You should put your hands behind your head. Makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. It's a blur as Emi sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, although that is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I only can catch a glimpse of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing in the world but her and the track. By the time I've gotten to the final stretch, Emi seems to have finished her sprinting. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves cheerfully as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap round with me? I've got to cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that that would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emi's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her shirt upwards ever so slightly so I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. So, how do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realise it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. Like when I did that Davina tape, even though she spent most of the time just grimacing like a goblin. She's terrifying, I don't like her. Yeah, that's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with adrenaline? Emi thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. Then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? I open my mouth to respond shortly before processing what she's just said. Emi watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. Why did I agree to run with you again? Emi just laughs harder. She takes a hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. I know, we better get a move on, Hisao. Class is in an hour and I need a shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Emi points to her prosthetics as if that would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation. You know, from sweat or friction or anything. Normally I only go after practice. If we're going to be doing these morning runs, then I guess I'll have to see him twice a day. Wait, so Emi has only started doing these runs since I showed up? It's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time. Don't be silly, I've been meaning to start running in the mornings for a while now. If I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, you know. Very true. So you'll be my running partner for the mornings. We'll both need the exercise, so it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emi's pretty fun to hang out with. And she's right, I do need the exercise. Doctor's orders, even. Emi waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What? Lunch, you know the meal, in the middle of the day. Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Rin likes it up there. When? Lunchtime, when else? That was a silly question. Yeah, but I sort of felt the need to ask all three for completeness' sake. Emi laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hisao. See ya. With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. Oh, unpleasant. I managed to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart surprisingly feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel a bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I have to keep all this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emi won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get and dry myself that I realise that I've only got 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. How on earth can you shower for 50 minutes? It's crazy. The hands on the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning's run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the run's giving me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria and I remember I've got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some pre-packaged stuff when I moved in, and a good thing too. The hallway is packed with students headed towards the cafeteria. That sounds very grown up for some bizarre reason. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door onto the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds. Can you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I wouldn't get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? Aha, that caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You may have a point. Maybe sideways. As Rin lays down on the bench to look up at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She takes the door off the hinges. Sorry it took me so long, there were a ton of people in line. She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her? Sometimes, yeah, I'd have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I'd never buy her lunch. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or if I'm witnessing the beginnings of a catfight. The 2 girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. Hey Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thought. After a deep breath and a profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's as lost as I am. Hey Sal, you're coming to the track meet, right? The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet? Honestly, Hisao, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the mornings, you won't even show up at my track meet? Wasn't she the one who asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. I know, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if to say if I just agreed to give her $1 million. So you will come after all, that's great. I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something after the meet's over. I feel like I've just been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force pushing me irrevocably towards my destiny. Oh, wasn't me herself, wasn't me. I'm just pushing the spacebar. Blame the developers of the game pushing you towards your destiny. Got nothing to do with me. Yeah, this is a cool bottle I got from my old job before I got made redundant. Customers sent it back because they were irate about that bit. Basically saying it was damaged, they didn't want it, and that's like really bad craftsmanship, but the bottle still works perfectly fine. So after I got it all put back in the system, I went and bought it, because no point in getting it destroyed or whatever. Someone's going to use it. I made the company money, because someone bought it twice. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Otherwise I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose I've got to show up now. Don't think I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I never hear the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot. Well, you won't forget to come though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on a calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, you know, unless time changes its course. You can do that? Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time it's Emmy who gives a shrug. I suppose it can't be helped if it happens. Not unless you're a time traveler or something. Are you, Hisao? You don't actually think that could happen, do you? I don't think we do. Do we? Rin shrugs again. That seems to be her default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. For Rin, this statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realise this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it, though Emmy merely nods. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. Just shrugging on the roof. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her. Your response is the sort of thing I'd expect from you, that's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Ah, it's just your unpredictability is pretty predictable. That's alright then. I don't get the chance to see whether Rin's being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Emmy jumps up, a look of panic on her face. I know I need to stop by my room and pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had a time machine now? If only we'd gone to Hogwarts and picked you up a time turner instead. Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line, like she just won an argument. Em ignores Rin's comment. Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry, got a bit of an itchy scalp and I don't really like seeing you guys see me scratch it. I think I need to change my shampoo and conditioner. But I've got to get through the shampoo and conditioner I'm using first before I can start using something different. Otherwise that's just wasteful. Sorry, Hisao, but can you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? I usually clean up myself, but I've got to run. Sure, no problem. Emmy darts away with an urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She already seems preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of the clean-up, and for some reason I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up from lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hechan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded in there. Misha's grin gets even wider. Oh really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? What? What are you talking about? You're on the roof, right? With Ren and Emmy no less. You Casanova, you. We just had lunch, that's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. Oh, haha, you're so adorable when you blush like that, Hisao. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. There's no secret. Oh? Misha seems disappointed, then brightens up again. Time will tell. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Blessedly, our teacher comes in and the class starts. Misha, what are you talking about, woman? Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I feel like something funny is going on with the Beam website. Let me just refresh it for a sec. Nope. I feel like something funny is... Everything's fine. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking a particularly unsavory carcass. It knows this is what it eats, but it's not sure it should be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I can take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now let's see, what was I supposed to be looking over again? I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment. If I go to the student council room, I just end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everybody else is except for... Well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emily's probably down there. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Hisao? Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At the moment, Emmy's the only person I could think of who I could visit. So I'm your last resort, am I? That'd be cool around, so I'll just go see Emmy, is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing of my own presents itself. Actually, yeah, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding, I was kidding! So you are down here to stalk me. You're right, Edward, you are. Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Why would I stalk you anyway? It's not like you require stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment. Well, you're not wrong, I suppose, but you forget about eating too. I do that, you know. I nod, conceding the point. Plus I hang out with Rin sometimes too, so it might really take some effort to stalk. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I've got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh really? Like what? Emmy puts her head to one side as she's trying to remember what she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go out shopping sometimes. I guess that makes sense. Emmy's a girl after all, but Rin? Rin comes with you? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus she likes the music store that sells all kinds of weird sounding stuff. She says it helps focus her. That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags a finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Somehow I think that's all Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment causes Emmy to laugh loudly. Oh, that's the understatement of the year. So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figured you'd hang out with a lot of people. I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin, you just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your class. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure why I want to know this. I guess it's because lunch was so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking for a moment very Rin-ish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would probably be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yeah? I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And that's why we're similar. You lost me. Emmy frowns as if to try and figure out her answer. Or maybe yes, we do things for the same reasons. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art, is that it? Well, sort of, let me think. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know how much of it I followed. Not surprisingly, I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She says we both chase after an extreme. Like she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of that feeling I get from it. As we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on it. What do you mean, slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner and Rin's a painter even without arms. So we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think. I'm not sure that made any sense to me. From Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I like to think about much. We just get along. I think that's what really matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So what got you running into anyway? I think we're gonna leave that there. What was the answer to a question gonna be? We'll have to see in the next stream. I'm kinda glad I just streamed for a little bit today. Trying to get into streaming more during the week rather than just Friday. So yeah, I'm Paigeofmaces, TTFN.